Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of Small Town Underground. We're in Studio 2 today, and I have a special guest with me. Her name is Melissa Johnson, and we've got a story to tell. I kind of want to title this one as Liberalism is Sort of a Mental Disorder, right? So Melissa had been talking to me for a while about some situations at work where she feels like she may have lost her job due to like political discrimination and stuff in the workplace that we want to focus on today, because we know these things are happening all over the place. And liberalism, it doesn't lend itself to be able to have your own points of view, even if you don't even bring them up, and people try their best to hurt you financially. And it kind of goes along with everything that we discuss on a weekly basis about how our culture is changing, how our morals changing, how everything has been politicized. So we kind of want to focus on that today. So I want to welcome Melissa to the show. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
All right. Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about you, kind of how you got started in the political world, what woke you up, and just tell us about you.
Okay. Well, like I said, my name is Melissa Johnson. I'm married. I've been married for 13 years, my second marriage. I have 3 children that are mine, and then I raised 2 stepsons. They still live at home. They're not grown yet. Very close.
Gotcha.
What started me was really when COVID hit. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, I've always been a Republican ever since I registered when I was 18. Never been a Democrat, but always, but never really stayed in touch with everything. Just kind of look, okay, well, it's time to vote. Let me check who I want to vote for. Right. That's pretty much been this. A lot of it, I would ask my dad, because he was a Republican. My mother never voted in her life. Right. So I would just ask him, who does he think, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. As long as it was red, right?
Yeah. So I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, Baltimore.
And then we moved here in 2012. Mm-hmm. And so I'll say probably 2012, I started realizing how bad the Democratic Party was, as I was now around more Republicans. Mm-hmm. Because we did move to Chattanooga, Tennessee is where we originally moved, but we did move into Lafayette when we bought our house.
Gotcha.
And of course, totally different area than Baltimore.
Oh yeah, I'm a Chicago native myself. So it was very, just laid back. Culture Everybody shock, was nice. Sure. Of course, there's not a million people in one area. It's, what we have 7,000. When we bought the house, it was like 7,000. Mm-hmm. I'm like, 7,000? I was like, wow. So really just, kind of lived my life. Just, always, like I said, wrote it. And then when Trump was running in 2015, I was like, I'm voting for him. I don't care. That's right.
Because I said, he's not a politician. And I said, I love the way he talks. He's to the point, I just felt right away. 2015, when he said he was running, I was like, he has my vote. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, 2016, then it just got crazy. I started realizing stuff because of the way they were attacking him. But of course, then I was just like, whatever, I don't care. I like Trump. I'm just going to stick with him. Never really got into it. COVID hit.
That's right.
As soon as it hit, I was off of work the day, I guess, they started going crazy. I didn't watch the news. I had no idea. Okay. I go into work after my day off. The shelves are empty. And I'm like, what happened in one day? My boss is like, don't you watch the news? And then he tells me what's happening. And I was like, I just started laughing hysterically. And he's like, what is wrong? Of course, he didn't believe it either. So this is how I got really close to my boss, because he's like, yeah, I don't know. So we just started talking about it. And I was like, then they started saying they were going to start making people wear masks. And we have to start, counting the people that come in the store and wipe down buggies, in which I'm all for wiping down buggies. We probably should have been doing that anyway. Right. And then, clean every 2 hours. We'd have to do a checklist. And it was just absurd.
It became, when you're putting arrows on aisles for people to, directionally shop, there's something wrong.
Yeah, and once it was the mask, that's now in Georgia, I lived, the store is in Ringgold. We didn't have mandatory masks in that area, but my job, we had to wear them at work. We never made the customers wear them, but we had to stand at the door and offer the mask. I said, do not put me at the door. I'm not doing that. And they're like, that's fine. I said, I'm not going to ask people to wear a mask because I don't believe in them.
Right.
Fine. Now, mind you, my boss agreed. He's like, sure, whatever. Then the vaccine came.
Right. Operation Warp Speed. Yeah.
Here goes the vaccine. So then, of course, they're like, we'll pay you this much money to get the vaccine, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, I'm not getting it.
McDonald's.
I said, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. And they're like, okay, don't worry about it. They weren't pushing it. Well, then it got to be, well, you have to sign this paper saying if you're vaccinated or not. And I said, I'm not signing that paper. So my boss was like, oh, okay. Well, then the DM comes in and says, hey, Melissa has to sign this paper. It just had to say whether I was vaccinated or not.
Right.
Okay. And he said to her, well, are you going to make her sign it? And she said, oh no.
I'd like to know what law on the books.
So I never signed it. But the crazy thing is, it was in the computer. So every time I'd log into the computer, it would pop up and tell me to sign this document.
Like an electronic document.
So I literally had to always X out every single time I logged in. Now I was a manager, so I'm logging into this computer 5-6 times a day. I had to keep saying, click out of it. To do any training, it would pop up before you could even go to your training. It was literally kind of where if you just sign it, it'll stop popping up.
Right, exactly.
And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing it. Okay, so now we're at 2022.
Okay.
And I'm getting ready to get promoted. So then they're like, hey, if you want to get promoted, we'll transfer you. So now I'm leaving Georgia, and now I have to go into Chattanooga to get promoted.
I see.
So I was like, great, that's fine. I'll go. I went to the Lee Highway store, which, mind you, everybody thinks is an awful area. I actually liked it because I grew up in Baltimore City, so it wasn't like big deal to me.
Yes.
At first, I didn't like it because it was very different. Anybody that knows that lives in like Ringgold area, it's a total different atmosphere.
It is. I've worked in Lee Highway before. Yes.
So it was a different atmosphere. Now, I had a boss that hated Trump. We never, ever talked about politics.
Right.
Never, ever did I ever bring it up. He knew that I liked Trump because he was very close to my old boss at the other store. So he never, ever brought it up. I never brought it up. We never talked about it.
Right.
We talk about movies. And I mean, we talked a lot. We were very close. We talk about everything but politics. Everything but politics. So we talk about everything.
Well, yeah, as it should be.
Then they're like, hey, there's an opportunity for you to move up again, but now you have to go to Signal Mountain.
Okay.
I'm like, sure, why not? You know, I'm getting a raise. I mean, a big raise at this point.
Right.
So then I go to Signal Mountain. If anybody knows Signal Mountain, I think that's the first time I saw my first trans person.
Okay.
Was Signal Mountain. I had never seen trans people, especially in Ringgold. Never. So I go to Signal. I worked with a trans person.
Okay.
She was out on leave. I did not know who it was till she came back. And she turned into a boy. I called her she the whole time. No one ever corrected me.
Right.
Mind you, they probably were like not liking that I kept saying she, but I was like, she is a she. So I just said she. I will call you by your name. If you want to be called a name, I will call you that name.
Right.
But I'm not going to be disillusioned that you're a boy.
Exactly.
So I just said she. Nobody ever corrected me. They would look at me kind of weird, but never say anything. So I'm feeling like all this stuff starts leading up to...
It's piling up a little bit.
Yeah, so they're like, okay, well, wait a minute. My first boss, of course, loved Trump. It was great. Then when I go to a store, he hates Trump. Then the next one is even worse because it's trans people. It's, it's getting to be...
It's the liberalism, the mental disorder.
I mean, all I said was she. I never, ever mentioned what was going on. And then when it was Pride Month, there was a little flag on her locker. Do not care.
Right.
You're right. You're right. So then the store, Gun Barrel, was having problems keeping a manager.
Okay.
So they're like, they cannot get a manager. And I was like, I really don't want to transfer because I honestly really like Signal. I won't lie. Like, even though that was a very nice store.
Yes.
Very nice area.
It is.
So I really liked that. Well, then I said, look, if nobody's going to go there and you need managers, I'll transfer.
Okay.
There was my downfall because as bad as I thought Signal was, Gun Barrel was probably 10 times worse. It was almost like Lee Highway, but a mix. So it would be like some of the people in Lee Highway, but then you have the money.
Right.
The money.
And you've got a mixture of people that go into Gun Barrel every day. I mean, thousands of people.
So it would just be like, okay, so I went to my friend's house and house sat for her in Athens, Tennessee. So I went to the Aldi there, and they had Halloween decorations. We were told we are not allowed to decorate for holidays. I worked there since 2017. This is now 2023.
Okay.
This is now 2023, 24. Was it last year? It was 2024. Sorry.
2024. Okay.
So it was last year. They had Halloween decorations everywhere. They had skeletons. They had cobwebs. And I was like, we were told we couldn't decorate for Christmas. Nothing. No holiday.
Right.
So I go back to my store and I said, hey, I thought we couldn't decorate for holidays. So then she said, oh, where are they decorating for holidays? So then she's like asking me all these questions and I'm like telling her about it and she blows it off.
Okay.
Mind you, probably somebody heard me say something about I didn't like the decorations.
Right.
Because I did not.
Okay.
When I walked in there and saw skeletons, I'm like, I got my things and left because I had to buy my groceries that I had to. I was already in line when I saw the skeletons. They were only in the front of the store. So I asked about that. And then, no, it was 2023. I'm sorry.
Okay,
it was 2023.
All right.
Okay, so then fast forward to 2024, June, which is our favorite month. So one of the girls that work there drew a pride flag on the whiteboard in the break room and put Happy Pride Month. So I left it there the whole month, never messed with it.
Right.
July 1st, I erased it and drew an American flag and put Happy Pride Month.
There you go.
And she erased it. And then put another pride flag up and said Happy Pride Month. So then I erased it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because I didn't draw again. I just was like, we're not going to do either. How about that?
Right.
Okay. And then, so this was in the summer. So like, I guess little things would just like, at this point, they already know that I like Trump. I've never talked about it. It's on my car. If anybody knows my car, I have Trump all over my car.
Gotcha.
I've never talked about politics. Of course, then the election came. Everybody was talking about the election. I would make little comments.
Right.
So the customers, like if they say, prices are so high, I said, well, remember that when you vote. That was the extent. I tried not to really, but at this point, they already know. They already know I voted for Trump. They already know that I'm a Christian because they would ask me, oh, what are you doing this weekend? I'm going to church. I'm doing this. They already know all this stuff. I don't have to be like.
Right.
So then, so after the election, nothing was out of the ordinary. So come March of 2025.
All right. That's this year. Yes. Okay.
Yes. So I put in for vacation. I was going on a missions trip. Okay. So I was taking off 2 weeks to go on a missions trip. So of course everybody's like, oh my goodness, Melissa, what are you taking off so much for? Mind you, I had 105 vacation days.
Wow.
That's how much I never take off.
Wow. Okay.
I had 105 vacation days and 35 sick hours.
Wow.
35 sick hours, 105 vacation days. Not days, hours.
Okay.
Because it's by hours.
Okay.
Still a ton.
Yeah.
Like, I don't take off. I never called out sick in 7.5 years. So I had all this time accumulated, and I was like, and then they started getting on me about taking off. I said, okay, well, so I was using all this time for this trip.
Right.
So again, they're like, oh, what are you taking off for? Of course, I'm like, on a missions trip. And they're like, oh, okay. Everyone's just like normal. So the Friday before I'm supposed to go on the missions trip, the DM comes in.
Okay.
And I said, hey, well, I was working on getting my own store.
Right.
So that was the promotions. You have to keep moving up the promotions to get your own store.
Okay.
So I was at the farthest place I could go before I get a store.
Okay.
So an assistant manager is where I am right now. Okay. So I'm at this farthest place. So the DM comes in and I'm just like, hey, what's going on? Am I going to be able to do some more training? She said, oh yeah, I'm going to have a meeting with you and your boss. I'm not going to try to name names. I'm trying not to unless you want me to.
No, that's perfectly fine.
So I'm going to have a conversation with you and your boss. We're going to come in, well, your manager. And I was like, okay. So she said probably around, I think it was like 9:30. She's like, 9:30, we'll have a meeting. You have to do that at Aldi. You have to literally schedule everything because everything's timed.
Yeah, okay.
If nobody knows that, you were timed for everything.
For everything.
Okay. So she's like, 9:30, we're going to come in. We'll have a meeting, just us three. And I'm thinking, this must mean something great.
Right. You're not thinking
I'm like,
anything.
man, I'm getting ready to get promoted.
Okay.
So I come in and they're both like serious. And I'm like, this was very weird because I had a very good relationship with my manager. She was from the original store I was from. So I've known her the whole time I've worked at Aldi for 7.5 years.
Right.
So she's like serious. The DM's serious, which me and her had a very good relationship. She was very pleasant to me, never said anything out of the ordinary to me ever that made me think a different thing. So she sits down. She's like, hey, I just want to let you know you've been reported to legal.
Wait.
And I was like,
all right, hold on. So let's talk about your work history. Have you been written up? Or
never.
Any kind of disciplinary action?
Never.
Nothing ever.
I've never called out sick. I went to work with 2 broken toes. I coverage for everybody would work 45, 50 hours.
Right.
The sheet comes out every week and it would be like, Melissa, you're at 50 hours every week. Like I went to other stores. I had been to every store in the area to help.
Okay. Wow.
So report to legal.
Impeccable record.
I'm like I was like, what? Like blown away.
Gotcha.
Because I was like, if I was getting written up, okay, somebody said you said this, we're going to write you up. Okay, you're suspended for 3 days. Whatever. She said, you were reported to legal. And I'm like, okay, what in the world is going on? Of course, I'm thinking, I wasn't actually thinking anything because I'm like, what in the world could I have done to be reported to legal?
Right.
I'm like, that's like crazy. So she says, I'm going to ask you these questions. Just answer the questions. So the first question was kind of weird. It was just like, hey, were you saying that my manager, of course, was she talking about you behind your back? And I'm like, I don't think so. In my mind, I'm thinking, what are we in middle school? I mean, literally, I was like, was she talking about me behind my back? I'm like, that's weird.
Okay.
And I was like, no. Then the second question was, did you say an action of a customer was retarded? An action, not the customer was retarded.
Right. An
action of the customer was retarded. And I said, honestly, I can't say yes or no to that.
Right.
Because probably what I said was, that's so retarded. Honestly.
Exactly. You
because
made a general statement using that word.
Honestly use that word a lot, and I not politically incorrect or whatever.
Sure.
Freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
So I said, I can't say yes or no to that. I honestly was like, I'm not even going to try to pretend I didn't say it because I don't know.
Sure. And it's honest statement.
The third question was the getter.
Okay.
Were you talking about someone that was homosexual?
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And I said, no, right away. Because I was like, I can't think of a time when I would never talk about someone because they're homosexual. Like, there was 2 girls that were lesbians, and I'll be honest. I knew the one I didn't know, the other one I did know, and then I found out later. Never treated them any different way. I mean, I used to bring them gifts, and I mean, I was nice to everyone.
Sure, why not?
And I didn't care. I don't care what you do in your private time. Just do your job.
Right. Exactly.
Show up for the job. That's what I care about.
Sure.
So then she said, just so you know, we can't move on with your getting a store, of course, because you're being investigated.
Wow.
This is Friday. I'm supposed to go on my mission trip Wednesday. So she said, you're about to go on vacation. Just go on vacation. We'll know something by the time you come back.
So you're under investigation. Did they share anything else with you?
that was the extent of the conversation. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I'm thinking there's no way anything's going to come out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So of course I am like upset, but not upset. I'm just like, okay, so what in the world could I have said?
Questions.
I'm like thinking in my brain, So of course the day goes along. Now I'm awkward at work, I'm like feeling awkward.
Everything.
So then I'm like, okay, so who's talking about me? Like, of course that started going in my mind. Mm-hmm. So Friday, Saturday I worked. Sunday I was off.
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday I was going to a different store to help.
Okay.
Shocker. Lee Highway. So I was going to Lee Highway because he needed somebody. So I was there. Mm-hmm. So she shows up there on Tuesday. So this is
she?
The DM.
The DM, okay.
Which was not his DM.
Okay.
So when I saw her, I'm like, so this is either good or bad, which I assume bad. If she's showing
up at the store that you're at and she's not the DM. Okay.
Yes, because it's very weird. Like, it's a district manager, but because there's so many stores in one district, they split the district up. Mm-hmm. So she's like in the office and they like call me to the office and she's in there. And she said, I just want to let you know that they have found you to be unethical. Unethical, that they can no longer employ you.
What?
I think she said they. I can't remember if she said they or we. I cannot remember. Right. But she said can no longer be employed. And I said, okay, well, I teared up a little bit. Mind you, I'm making very, very good money.
You've been there for years.
7.5 years.
Record.
I made very, very good money.
Right.
And so I teared up a little bit. And she said, I know, I'm so sorry. You've done so much for this company. Of course, it's above her. She's doing her job.
Well, of course. That's the way it works. They like the finger point.
But she could have. Did she stand up for me? No. Mm-hmm. Did my direct leader stand up for me? Probably not. Mm-hmm. So this is the day before I'm going on my mission trip. Mm-hmm. This is literally the day before.
Wow.
So So of course I said, okay, I need this in writing. I need this in writing. She said, oh yes, sure. We'll have it in writing. So then I leave because of course I have to leave. Mm-hmm. This is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was supposed to work till 7.
Gotcha.
So I said
they made sure that you filled most of the shift, right? Well, before they coming in, of course.
Well, the problem is now they're there with 2 closers. Mm-hmm. So they hurt the closers because now I'm leaving 2 hours early. So the girl that was closing, I said, I'm so sorry. I literally just got fired. She's like, what? Mm-hmm. Like believe me, I know everybody in every store because I go to every store. Of course. She's like, what? So I, of course, told her nothing. Mm-hmm. I just got my stuff and left. And so then I text her. I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going out of the country for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I think I text her that night, just to make sure. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have it in writing. She said, yes, I've talked to them. They're going to send you stuff in the mail. Okay. And it'll also have your COBRA stuff for your insurance.
All right.
Okay. So fast forward, I come back, still didn't get anything in the mail. So then I wait a couple more days. I get a little envelope in the mail. It's just like an envelope. Mm-hmm. It's just a letter. And it says, I was terminated because I did not follow the direct leaders of my supervisor. What? Is what the paper says in a little envelope, this big, just a regular size legal envelope. It's folded up. That's why I was terminated. So I never saw a piece of paper on the investigation, who said it, what was said, nothing. So when I tried to reach out to her, she ignored me.
Of course.
I couldn't get the number of the person that I needed to reach. Mm-hmm. Nobody.
Yeah, at this point, they're just placating you. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I did get the packet, of course, for COBRA. I can't afford that at this point.
Right.
I mean, my insurance, I'll be honest, was great. Mm-hmm. So then after this, I apply for unemployment. Because at first I wasn't going to apply for unemployment. Everybody's like, well, apply for unemployment. What are you thinking?
Well. Absolutely.
So they, of course, deny it because
they denied it.
Aldi told them that I was not following policies.
Oh my Lord.
That's why. So 3 different reasons why I got fired. So I was not following policies. which I could have probably appealed it, and I probably should have, and just made a big deal. Right. But at this point, I literally was just like, at this point, crushed.
Sure.
Because I was just like, okay, I don't even know what to do at this point. Because I was like, I just got back from out of the country.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I got my last
fired
paycheck.
Right before you're leaving to go on your mission trip for vacation. You have to deal with all that, and then you come back. I mean, this whole thing just is
got my
ridiculous.
last paycheck, and I'm like, it wasn't even a full paycheck because I lost all my sick time. You don't get that paid out. They paid out my vacation, so it was just my vacation. All my sick time I lost, 35 hours gone. Which I think was the point of why they fired me before, because I could have technically just used my sick time for my vacation,
right,
and then got my vacation paid out.
Of course.
So then I was just at like, okay, what's next? And so I did reach out to a lawyer because, well, you recommended a lawyer.
Yes.
They didn't get right back to me, but then they said, well, because you live in a state that is
right to work, right?
Right to work, right to hire, right to fire, whatever. And so I was like, okay. Plus it was like a big lawyer, and I'm like, they probably just don't want to be bothered with some little petty case like this. They think it's nothing. So I let it go for a little bit, and then a friend of mine says, hey, when did you reach out to Alex Johnson? Well, I reached out to him. He said the same exact thing. Well, then somebody in his office said, get a hold of her. She'd be willing to work with me.
Okay.
She never called me back.
Catherine?
I think so.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, so now it's either my First Amendment right was violated or it wasn't, which goes above right to hire, right to fire. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. Yes. Especially whenever they can't even get it in writing the right way. Did they record the that last interview you had?
I have no clue, because at the point, I was just...
I doubt they would, because...
Stunned. Yeah. I mean, if I had been written up 5 times for the same thing, okay, even one time.
Right.
I'm like, not one person has ever said anything.
I think that's a very extreme to go from your record and the way that you work to literally firing you, and in an investigation that you weren't even privy to, didn't get any information from. They should have at least shared the investigation with you.
Right. I mean, they didn't send paperwork. I mean, they could at least just showed it to me.
Yeah, determination based on
hey,
whatever.
This is what we found. Show it to me at least. If you don't want to give me a copy.
Exactly.
Whatever, just at least so I know. Like, and I'll be honest, this happened to 2 people before. The one girl...
Same company.
Same company?
Okay.
Okay, the one girl worked at the store I originally came from. I worked with her. She was fired for something she said. Of course, have no idea, because this is the crazy thing. This was about a month before this happened.
Okay.
So my old boss, I shop in there. So he's like, hey, just to let you know, so-and-so got fired for something she said. Watch what you say at work.
Okay. Right.
And I said, well, I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about anything at work. Like, I'm very specific on what I talk about.
Right.
I mean, if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it.
Of course.
Which, again, they could have asked me anything, and I could have answered it not the way they wanted it, and that could have been a trap. Right. You know what I mean? They could have said, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I don't remember, But then, of course, this is when I thought of, I hadn't even thought about the pride flag. I hadn't thought about the Halloween decorations until after this happened, and I started honestly praying.
Right.
And like, God, what did I do? What did I say? Do I need to know? Is it even important? Do I go past it? Right. Of course I need to go past it. I don't need to be hurt by it. And then I remembered the decorations. I remembered the flag.
Right, so all these small things start coming back to you that are just everyday life. It's
that I would never think anything of.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so then I remember the conversation that probably did it.
Okay.
Okay. So I was in the back with my boss. She's the store manager. We're in the back throwing truck, which is what we call when we stop. We're doing the freezer.
Okay.
So the freezer is -10 degrees. So we don't stand in the freezer. We kind of like unbox it, and then we would stock the freezer. So we're in the back working together because there's 3 pallets and it's freezing. So we just work together, get it over. So we're back there saying, hey, we were talking about, hey, we didn't know so-and-so was gay. That was literally the conversation. I'm not positive that's what it was, but that's what
came back
to me.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, she was back here with me and we were talking about it together.
Mm-hmm.
So why do I not have a job and she has her job?
Now, do you think there was anybody else around, or do you think that it was just
I think that someone heard.
Okay.
If it is what it is. I don't think she, of course, didn't turn me in. She was talking too.
Exactly. Right.
So then my old boss at the other store, I know he's been dying to he was like dying to ask. I know he was.
Sure.
You know he had to be.
Sure.
So one day we're outside. So we're not in the building.
Okay.
And he's waiting for his wife to pick him up. So he's like, Melissa, what happened? He's like whispering. Because of course, at this point, he's afraid to say anything because of what had happened.
And this is after you were terminated.
This is 2 months after.
Okay, so you're
2 or 3 months. This is months after.
Wow. Okay.
So he said, what happened? And I said, I told him exactly what happened. And he said, yeah, she hasn't mentioned it at all to me. My manager, which they talk every day. They talk every day.
Right. So.
And I said, oh yeah, I get it. It's keep the store manager, get rid of whoever else. I get it. Save the store manager. And he didn't say anything. So I was like, okay, so Lord, that was my confirmation that that's exactly what it was.
I see.
Because I thought about every situation of every time we ever talked about anybody that was gay, because of course it came up. The girl would talk about her girlfriends and stuff.
Right. It's a one-sided. She can talk all she wants about it, but heaven forbid you say anything.
And I mean, honestly, I think one time I did say, well, my sister has a girlfriend. Like, I'm pretty sure that came up because we were just in the office talking, you know, and it's like, we're just talking. I'm not saying it's disgusting. Ew,
Right.
Like, even if I thought that, I would never, ever say that to somebody.
Right.
I would never be hateful to somebody. And so it was like, just like, and I even thought of that. I was like, well, maybe I said something in the office. You know, of course, I'm like thinking of all these things. But then when that popped up in my head, and when he asked, I was like, I'm going to test the theory. And I was like, yeah, so I get, you know, save. And she probably threw me under the bus. It's pretty much where it came to. Well, yeah, we were talking about it. Or no, she was talking about it. I was just standing there. Or whatever she said.
Right.
Or they could have been like, well, if you admit that she was doing it, then we'll save you.
Wow.
I have no idea.
So, so what's happened now? Have you tried to pursue anything past where you were about 3 months ago?
I mean, I've reached out, like I said to them, I did reach out to a Christian company that, now I have to call them back because they did call me back and leave a message. So I do have to see what they could do because it may be, my religious, it may, you know what I mean? I feel like it's more than just, okay, a right to hire, right to fire. I'm like, I understand that concept because it's either way. It's like, well, it benefits me because I have the right to have a job.
Sure.
But you're just can fire somebody for any reason.
Exactly. It's right to work it can be a really good thing if you use it. But when you're talking about freedom of speech, or especially when there's speech that seems to be protected by a certain class of people, whereas it's not protected under you, you know, that's not correct. That's not the way that we work things. And the fact that you were just fired with an impeccable record with no investigation that you were able to be in on, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. Obviously, the law is there, but again, it seems like you were targeted.
Yeah, like, so I said, so the other girl had been fired a month before.
Right.
And then probably a month before that, there was a guy that also used to work at that store. It's so funny. We like all started at that store and started moving out. And he worked at another store. Now, mind you, I don't know which way he votes or anything, but he was a Christian and he would hang scripture in the break room.
Okay.
Now, people would say stuff about it, but no one ever made him take it down. Nobody made a big deal about it.
Right.
But they said they fired him because he was not working hard enough.
Oh, okay.
Mind you, he also would go to other stores to help and pick up hours. And he was also in management, not as high as me. He was like the one below me.
Okay.
So it was literally like he got fired in a month, and then me. And it was literally like the
entire
got targeted.
Culture, yeah, the entire
so it was like, just get us
where
out.
you worked is like they were targeting specific people that didn't fit, I guess, the narrative or the culture that they wanted to people to assimilate.
Yeah, and see, the girl, now I'll mind you, she probably was very out with her political beliefs, and she probably did say stuff that was, like, not saying she shouldn't say it.
Right.
Never would I say that, because everybody has a freedom.
Sure.
But she probably went way above what I said.
I got you.
Because she was very out with how she felt about stuff. And she may have said something like, okay, so you remind you, this was right after the election. So probably somebody was saying something about the prices or something, and she probably just went on a spree.
Right.
And was probably, I mean, I don't know. I haven't reached out to her. I was going to see if she would, like, if she wanted to be in with me on doing something more. Because I even said, well, there was 3 of us in a 3-month span. Could we have a class action? Because that's where I was kind of going with it when I reached out to the people. I was like, there's 3 of us at least.
Right.
I guarantee you there's more, especially in red areas.
Right. Oh yeah, I don't disagree. So
I mean, it's a red. It's, you know what I mean. Not saying that's. I thought it was weird that it was like. I mean, over the years, I'm like, all the stuff I said about COVID. I mean, I wouldn't sign that paper. I'm like, the things they could have got me for, they get me for that.
They get you for that, yeah.
And it was just like, so I have not looked for a job.
Okay.
I have just been just like, I mean, I want to fight for people's rights, not just my own.
Absolutely.
So this is not about me. This is about anyone that's ever had their rights violated.
Right.
Because our rights are allowed to get violated. And everyone else is like, oh, we can say whatever we want. We can spit on you. We can punch you. We can throw things at you, because that's happened to me. Not punched. People spit on me. People throw stuff at me. People cuss me out.
For what, though?
I had a Trump sign. We were outside.
Syndrome?
We were outside the Atlanta Capitol. They spit on us. They threw trash at us. They cussed us out. This was where I was January 6th, mind you. I was at Georgia Capitol, not D.C.
I gotcha. Okay.
But, and I mean, I had my boys with me. We were sitting out there. They were like, this is crazy. I mean, they loved it, honestly.
Right.
They were like, this is crazy. I was like, this is what I do.
Yeah, there you go.
But, I mean, it's okay. And I'm like, I would never treat someone like that.
I know.
I can't even imagine.
It's a mental disorder.
Spitting on someone, that's disgusting. Throwing trash at someone, like, yeah, they were in their car throwing trash, like out their window throwing trash at us. I'm like,
wild.
What in the world?
People, I tell you, our culture is it seems like it's just degenerating, and hopefully we're on the way back up. We do have Trump in the White House. We're seeing a lot of positive things happen, but again, it seems like I could make a correlation to the Trump winning the presidency and these people, the liberalism getting madder and madder. The machine trying to throw people away and out, like yourself. It's ridiculous. It could have been that too. It could have been like, oh, okay, well, let's get her out before we can't. Exactly. Yeah, it could have been that. Right.
It's like once hey, maybe they knew. Like, I mean, the DEI was he's just started talking about it at that point.
And believe me, it's every company. It was every company. The globalists were pushing this all across the entire spectrum of our industrial and our retail.
And that's a lot of reason, too, why I haven't really looked for a job, because I was like, I don't want to work for a corporation again.
Yeah. No.
I don't want to work for a corporation. And if I have to have a full-time job with great benefits to work for a corporation, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it.
Well, again, I think you're taking a good stand against the system. We've got to rid our corporations of this DEI structure, this stuff. I mean, we've got to get it out of here. It has no place in the workforce. We need to get back to basing our workforce on, are you a good worker? Do you do the job? These kind of things. None of this stuff should come into effect like it's happened to you. So it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, everybody knows Charlie Kirk. So I'll use an example. I just watched it again because, it just resurfaces. And he was like, this black guy stood up, and it was just like, oh, so when you look at me, you're wondering if I'm qualified. And he said, that's correct. I am wondering, because are you here because you're qualified or because you fit DEI? Right.
And that's true. And I
don't want to feel that way.
But it's also a self-segregating system in and of itself. It doesn't help things. It makes it worse, right? And it's almost like I call it an oxymoron. Like, you're telling me that we're going to put in a program that does base things on your race or your skin color and everything, when we're supposed to be getting completely away from that and judging the individual on the character. It's insane.
And why would you want to be hired because of the color of your skin and not your skills?
Exactly.
Like, I'm the best person. I beat everybody out because I'm the best.
Right.
Which is my goal, is I want to be the best.
Sure, I got you.
And why I would stay over late. I'm like, because I want everybody to say, you can depend on Melissa.
Exactly.
She's going to show up.
Exactly.
She will work her butt off.
Right.
Mind you, everybody in that place was younger than me. They were my kids' age.
Right.
My boss was my son's age.
Right, right.
And I could outrun them.
Well, that's part of our society.
So it would be like
sickness. We're supposed to be based on the fruits of our labor. We're supposed to be judged on our character and our morals and our values. But it's the exact opposite. You can put literally the most unqualified, untrained person in a job based on criteria that is made up that segregates people more. It doesn't make any sense.
And then they're allowed to say it, like, "Oh, I don't have enough women that work here," which I don't agree with. I do not agree with that either. I'm a woman. But I don't agree with, "Oh, we don't have enough women, so I'm going to hire you because we need 5 women and we only have 4.
Exactly.
We need
never work.
This many Hispanics, so I'm going to no.
Well, I mean, I worked
No.
in retail myself for years. I started my everything, and we would hire based on who had the best qualifications or looked the best.
Why do you fill an application out for your qualifications if it doesn't matter?
If it doesn't matter, exactly. So we've got some problems. So you were telling me about another story as well. I thought you should share that with us too. So now you're out of the workforce, but you're working again, right?
Yes, I have a part-time job with a family-owned company.
Okay.
It's a different kind of job that I've ever had.
Okay.
But they are Christians. And everyone there, I think, is conservative. I mean, honestly, that's pretty much what we talk about today. So it kind of took me out of the one into the other. Of course, we have a difference opinion because that's okay.
Sure.
Everyone's going to have a difference opinion. We can't agree with everything 100% of the time. But I also do Instacart to kind of supplement a little bit because it is a part-time job making significantly less money.
Right.
So I do Instacart, and I'll be honest, what I'm wearing right now is normally something I would wear every day.
Sure.
Maybe not this much. Maybe I don't wear a whole shirt that has a flag. I might, have a little flag. I might have a Christian shirt. I love Jesus.
What on earth is wrong with wearing a flag shirt?
It's only for MAGA, apparently. I don't know.
Right.
That's what I heard yesterday.
Okay.
So I took an order, and they come up as batches, and then you have like 1 or 2 orders inside of a batch. I had 3 at this time. It's a lot, but I was like, I'll just do it. The first one was a real easy one. I just dropped it off at the house, take a picture, leave. The next one, I go to the house. This older woman comes out. I thought she was going to help with the groceries. I wasn't really sure. It was kind of weird, but then she comes up, not all the way up to me, but she's like, "What's your license plate say?" And so I'm like, do I want to answer the question? Because I'm like, So I was like, "Oh, it says I identify as Ultra MAGA." And so she backs away a little bit and she's like, "Can you put my groceries in this box over here?" Which, again, the box said for delivery. So at this point, I still don't think nothing of it.
Sure.
I'm just putting the groceries in there. And she says, "So what do you think about what Trump's doing to the people of this country?" And I was like, do I want to answer the question? Again, I'm like, flashbacks,
right,
you know? So I'm like, so I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, "Oh, he's deporting all the people that have brown skin." She wants her skin. She's a white lady, a brown skin. And I'm like, "Oh, well, they're illegal." And she said, "Oh, well, what about the white people? They aren't getting deported." And so I'm just putting this stuff in there, and then I have to take a picture. And then she said, "Well, I forgot to tell you this." She says, "Well, I paid $100 last week for my groceries. I thought Trump was fixing that."
Oh, Lord, yes.
And so then I said,
syndrome.
So I just listened, and then she said, "Don't come back to my house again." I said, "Okay." I got in my car. You didn't even
report back to her. You just okay, understood.
I said, "Okay." Got in my car. I was like, "Believe me, I don't want to come back." Got in my car. called Instacart right away and just let them know what happened.
Right, which was smart.
And they said, we are so sorry that happened. It's not appropriate. She should not attack you because of your license plate. That's absurd. I mean, I didn't even have this on.
Right.
Goodness, if I would have this on.
Right.
Yeah, and then she put a note in the thing and said, if you wanna employ Nazis, I won't shop at Publix anymore. And I was like,
and even she didn't even leave the tip.
And she didn't leave a tip. She took the tip away.
Think about the layers. Think about the layers of this based on Donald Trump or this TDS. the links that she's trying to go to hurt you for something like that.
Like the message was crazy.
She lives here in America on the soil, and it's just beyond me. I've never treated anyone with any kind of disrespect like that. Didn't care if they were a stone cold liberal or whatever. It's insane to me that people go to these levels to do that.
No. So. And then I'm thinking, okay, she lived in Ringgold, which I know Ringgold can go either way, but majority of it's red.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, like, I should have been like, lady, you need to move in a different neighborhood. Like, you're in the wrong neighborhood. I didn't say anything inappropriate. All I did was, what do you mean? And then I said, well, they're illegal. I mean, it's the truth. I'm not saying anything that was wrong. And I didn't even try to justify white, black, purple, green. I didn't.
Well, people want to have that conversation with me about it and try to make it race-based or whatever. And I say, I've been doing bail bonding for 25 years. I mean, so if somebody's got a warrant for their arrest, it doesn't change the fact that they have a warrant, no matter what they do, no matter what I think about them, right? And eventually that warrant is going to have to be served on that person. So there's zero difference in it. The only difference is what you're trying to make it out to be, which is some sort of a propagandized DEI or whatever. We all know liberalism is a mental disorder, and I think we're going to see it significantly worse as we go through 2025. So, wow.
Yeah. So I mean, like I told my daughter, I was just like, the reason why you only see the people that you see on the news is because they're the ones that resist arrest. I can guarantee you there's probably Russians that are here illegally.
Oh, yeah.
They're white. You know what I mean? Australians, they're white. Canadians, they're white. They just don't resist arrest. They're just turning themselves in.
If the news were going to cover, Russian illegals getting arrested, well, that doesn't fit their narrative, right? So we have to keep all of this race-based propaganda in the news so that we can continue to keep people divided over all of these things, and that's what.
So they show it, and then it's like people that are even for Trump, then they start saying, "Oh, well, they threw that guy on the ground." I said he was resisting arrest. If I resist arrest, they're going to throw me on the ground.
Exactly. So
and I'm a woman. They're going to throw me on the ground.
Right, but logic and reason doesn't really apply to the liberal ethos, I think. So the bottom line is, it seems like you were discriminated against. So that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so do you plan any future advocacy now? Like you said, are you?
I would love to. I have just not had an idea where to start. Like I've made a couple of videos. But honestly, like right now, my heart's pounding because I'm very nervous.
Right. Well, I've watched your video.
This is okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind even speaking at places,
Right.
I just don't know where to start.
Gotcha.
And I reach out to people and no one ever gets back to me. So I'm always like, well, maybe one video gets out, the right person will see it.
Sure.
Because I'll be honest, I've reached out to Benny Johnson. I reached out to Dan Bongino before he got, the job he has now when he was still doing his podcast. I mean, these are big people, I get. But I was like, well, I've seen a lot of stories where it's just a nobody that is on their show.
Sure.
Because just the right person has to see it.
Exactly.
And so I've just I've reached out to a lot of people, but I'm like, I probably just, the right thing needs to be seen. I don't know how these people, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hit big.
Yeah.
Mind you, no. Right. But I would love to help someone.
Okay.
Like, everything I do is to help someone. It's not like, of course, I'd love to help myself. But if I get nothing out of it, but one person, you know,
right.
gets justice. One person learns something new. I mean,
Absolutely.
one person turns their heart to Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, this is a spiritual battle. This is not even this woman. This is not Aldi. This is not so-and-so. It is all spiritual.
I agree.
And every time I pray about something, something else opens up. And I'm like, wow, you know, you see something new. You're like, oh, that's why that happened.
Exactly. I think we're in a providential state right now.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be happening for reasons, and we may not be able to see it now, but we look back in hindsight, and this could be the beginning of something far greater in your life, and that's what we hope as well. So, and if anybody out there, this video will make its rounds, and we need to get Melissa hooked up with people. We need to get her hooked up with advocacy groups, people that can identify these kinds of issues happening, especially in the workplace, and we can fight to stop it. So, wow, well, that's a wonderful story you got. I mean, obviously, I hate it that you spent so many years working your way up to a company that just basically threw you away, and but now it seems like we can turn that into something good. So, which is what always happens, even though you think it's like the worst. Like at the point, I was like, "Oh, wow!" Right. And I was like, "No, God always turns it for good." That's right. Every single thing that's happened to me in my life, I'm like, "You think you're here, and it's like you could be here." Well, that's awesome. So, well, tell folks how they can reach out. You've got a Facebook, right? You're starting to do videos. I do have a Facebook. It's just Melissa Johnson. Okay. There is a very common name, if no one knows. I think I have Trump and an alligator wearing the alligator hat or whatever. Gotcha. I think that is my profile picture. If that helps any find me on Facebook. That's pretty much all I do right now, just because I'm not very tech savvy, which is the reason why I said, please do this in person. I'll never figure this out. I gotcha. I need to do an Instagram. I know my daughter's been on me forever about an Instagram. Gotcha. Okay. So I may try to do that, but Facebook is definitely the easiest way to get a hold of me. Message me, send me anything. I'll respond because I am definitely would love to help someone if I can. Absolutely. I can also, if anybody out there wants to get in touch with Melissa, you can get in touch with me. I'd be happy to hook you guys up. We are creating a vast and big Patriot community of support and structures where in the future we're going to be working a lot together and hitting back on some of this liberalism and these DEIs and getting it out of the workforces, out of the politics, and back to common sense logic, God, family, faith, community. So, well, we appreciate you being with us and telling your story. Thank you for hearing my story. Thank you. Ma'am. And thank you. Folks, again, you can contact me, look for Melissa Johnson. I'm sure that she's going to be doing more videos and get more involved, and hopefully we can hook some people up with this video. So, I appreciate it. That does it for this special edition of Small Town Underground, and we'll see you later.